Hello guys, this video will serve as an explanation as well as demo video for the project of DBMS 2024. The task was to create a faculty application portal, which was a clone of IIT faculty application portal. So right now I will give a quick way to build this project to the Docker. So the guideline would create the to write the given command in your command line in order to create the container which will store all the image required for the Docker in order to run this files. The command would be right now the container has been being generated, and till as this container gets generated, I will give a brief explanation how the images work. So basically, there are three images created: one for the front end, one for the back end, and the another one is created in order to store the database, SQL database. Please note that this database does not have any pre-stored value and be created totally new. Will be created totally new when it will be initiated on your device. As you can already observe, the device has been getting created, and yes, we're done here. I would be pausing the video as would this happen. The container has been created, and as you can already observe, the images are running right now on the Docker desktop application. I would be quickly running this here from the application, and here we are at the index page of our faculty location login site. I would give you a quick demonstration of this site. Before that, I would like to introduce you to the tech stack which we have used. So the front end is being created using HTML, CSS, and the scripts are JavaScripts, which controls the different logic and the functionality that we have to implement in the given faculty login site. Beyond that, the backend has used Node.js and Express for the database connection purposes, and the Malta for the file storage system. Again, for the database, as we are using SQL as our database, we have also used SQL2 in the npm libraries. Before giving you demonstration, I would also like to quickly introduce you the two different ports which we are using here in order to give you idea where the all communications are happening and what are the way the overall fetch and the response and request are transferred. So the base bottom way of handling viewing is that our site is run on localhost 5500. Our JavaScript sends the request to the port 8080 where the app.js, which is the uh, file which handles the call of database functions, it also listens on 8080 and has multiple APIs in it, which enables the different functionality of the site itself. Now this app.js imports the functions from database.js, which I will show you here right now from the database.js. This database.js is nothing but what contains the every function required to create queries for the ever SQL, and of course this SQL is connected to port 3306, and it's where the all the queries are run on the database. Now, once the tech stack and the overall flow of the site is clear, I would return to the site and give you a quick example of different functionalities, and as well as along with this, I would give you a few explanation how these logics are implemented, how elements and attributes are worked out. So let's go for sign up. By the way, I would to also show you that we are using an extension in order randomly fills the form for us in order to decrease the uh, amount of work given in this video. So here we go. I have already filled the all the fields, but for the convenience sake, I would give email that I feel like giving, which would be, and as well as the password. I would like to show you that if the fields aren't filled, we would give the a prompt in order to fill them all. Common logic associated with it. In case the password and the repassword aren't same, we all will also ask for the correct password again. So here we are. For by registering, we are entering ourselves to the database. Here we are. So the initial name is being shown. This is the block in order to change the password, since we are right now showing you we don't dwell into that. Let me quickly fill this form, and here we are. Of course, if I remove the necessary input fields, it won't allow us to submit. So there is this is another functionality. 7 next. While until unless you do not submit the whole application, the site allows you to update it and also stores the information that you have previously imported to the fields and the tables. This would be shown from given example, as I will return to the site using the given arrow. And yes, here we are. The different values that you have initially given are still stored. As for the application number, they are kept incremental in the database. So as the amount of applicants increase, they would be assigned application number accordingly. We'll quickly go through the next few pages and also show the functionality of add more. So there is this issue that as I'm using Docker, I cannot show the database directly from my file. So what I would do is show you the database that we have made previously and that was working locally on my server that I've set up instead of the Docker images. So that database is this one. This does not necessarily show the changes that I've done in the Docker file. So please view this with your own discretion. So here we are. As you can observe, each of these given files would expect values from the app.js and database.js that's implemented through that express.js. Beyond that, I would also highlight that add more is working perfectly fine, and we can add different amount of the tables that we have. This would be later showcased when creating PDF, where the amount of the values in the amount of rows in the table are dynamically changing. So here we are. I will quickly go through each of these values and show you the functionality. At the end of the page, I will also show you that we can log out. Uh, Whereas right now I can show you the local storage and who is using the. As you can already observe, nada.address Gmail is the signed in user. Multiple users would be allowed in this given Nginx server. Here we are. I'll continue to fill them as this are pretty trivial. Of course, you can upload files here, and the submission would occur according to save next button. So let me fill each of this file so that it would accept the save and next, otherwise it won't. Accept the download, and here we are. The PDF is generated. As you can see, the tables are dynamically generated and are at a fixed value. From here, you can also use print application in order to print the whole given table right now. From here, I would also show you the functionality of logout. We'll move to backward page, and here we are logout. Now you can observe local storage won't have any email users present in them. I have given you shown you the a brief overview or an example of our site. Now we'll move on to the ER diagram and the schema that has been generated in order to show you how the database is working. So let's let's shift to the image itself. So the main idea regarding this system is that there would be a main table, users table, which would connect to the all other pages table, and the email in the pages table would act as a primary key, as well as the email would also act as a foreign key. Hence, it is necessary to have a unique email for the each user. Beyond this, we have set up the deletion as cascading. So in case any of the row or the users have been deleted from the user table, then we would delete the every instance of that email from the each of the pages possible. The relations are shown through the ER diagram. You can observe them. As for the file location saving, we have implemented through Malter, and as in Malter works, it is convenient to use the file naming itself as an identifier instead of storing them in a database, and Malter does that pretty effectively in that case. The next 2 or 3 minutes I would like to give to the showcation of the code and the development idea that we started with. So I would start with the front end itself. The major idea behind the front end was that since the first submission deadline was given to show the progress report, we thought that implementation of front end would be better to do as it was less complex. So here is the front end code with multiple pages and all. And the next are two scripts, which basically these two scripts handle is handler.js, which sees the logic related to the page.html, and there is a script.js which handles the signing of users and login of users and the another logic associated with them. Beyond this, there is backend as well. Backend composes of mainly two files, app.js and database.js. Of course, there are node modules associated with them which work in background in order to support them. So here are those files, the functions which have been implemented, app.js, and the functions that have been called here. And this is the Docker file for the backend. This all has been built together in order to create a container in Docker using this compose.yml, which will which will call in the docker.file.database, docker file frontend, and docker file backend from those app server and the backend its database, and create whole container with these three images and make a working site. Hence, I would like to conclude this video.